The boxing world is buzzing with anticipation as Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford prepare to clash in September for the undisputed super middleweight titles. This matchup, a rare collision of pound-for-pound elites, has sparked heated debates across the sport. Crawford, moving up 3 weight classes from his welterweight roots, faces a daunting challenge against Canelo, a natural super middleweight with a storied career. The fight is seen as a monumental gamble for Crawford, but also an opportunity to cement his legacy as one of boxing's all-time greats. Meanwhile, Canelo, the established king of the division, enters as the favorite, but not without questions about his current form and motivation. The perspectives from analysts, fighters, trainers, and promoters paint a complex picture of a fight that could redefine both men's legacies. The announcement of the fight has ignited discussions about whether Crawford's brilliance can overcome the physical advantages Canelo brings to the ring. At 168 pounds, Canelo is a formidable presence, known for his durability, power, and ability to adapt mid-fight. Crawford, however, is widely regarded as one of the most skilled fighters in the world, with an uncanny ability to read opponents and exploit their weaknesses. The size difference is the central talking point. Crawford, who last fought at 147 pounds before a brief stint at 154, is leaping to a weight class where Canelo has thrived for years. The question isn't just about skill, but about whether Crawford's body can withstand the punishment from a bigger, stronger opponent. Teddy Atlas, the veteran trainer and analyst, has been one of the most vocal voices in the build-up. Speaking to Slingo, Atlas didn't just pick Crawford to win, he questioned Canelo's invincibility. He suggested that Canelo, for all his accomplishments, might be slightly overrated. Quoting the legendary Marvin Hagler, Atlas said, "It's hard to get up and do road work at 5 in the morning when you've been sleeping in silk sheets." The implication is clear. Canelo's wealth, fame, and dominance may have dulled his edge. Atlas pointed to past fights, arguing that Canelo didn't deserve the victories in his first 2 bouts against Gennady Golovkin and that the controversial win over Erislandy Lara could have gone the other way. He even referenced Canelo's loss to Floyd Mayweather as evidence of his struggles against elite boxers who can outmaneuver him. While acknowledging Canelo's tremendous skill and legacy, Atlas believes Crawford possesses a special quality, a hunger and mental toughness forged by his upbringing and relentless drive. For Atlas, Crawford's desire could be the difference in a fight where skill alone might not be enough. Shannon Briggs, the former heavyweight champion known for his "Let's go champ" mantra, takes it a step further. Briggs isn't just picking Crawford to win, he's predicting a stoppage. This is a bold claim, given Canelo's renowned chin and durability. Briggs, speaking with his characteristic bombast, said he's so confident in Crawford that he might even place a bet, despite not being a gambling man. For Briggs, Crawford isn't just a skilled technician, he's a finisher with the potential to shock the boxing world. The idea of Crawford stopping Canelo, a fighter who has rarely been hurt, let alone knocked out, would be a seismic moment in the sport. Briggs sees Crawford as a fighter chasing greatness, unafraid to take risks that others might shy away from. On the other side, Abel Sanchez, the trainer who guided Gennady Golovkin through his prime, offers a more grounded perspective. Having seen Canelo up close in 2 grueling fights, Sanchez emphasizes the importance of weight classes. He argues that Crawford's leap to 168 pounds is a step too far. Canelo has faced thunderous punchers at higher weights and never looked rattled, except for a brief scare against Jose Cotto early in his career. Sanchez respects Crawford's brilliance but believes the physicality of super middleweight will be a hurdle too high. The size difference, he says, changes everything. A single punch from Canelo could alter the fight's trajectory, and Sanchez doubts Crawford's ability to absorb that kind of power over 12 rounds. Teofimo Lopez, the brash WBO junior welterweight champion, adds another layer to the conversation. Initially, Lopez leaned toward Canelo, citing his ability to adapt and wear opponents down in the later rounds. But in a later interview with Fight Hype, Lopez flipped his prediction, backing Crawford. His reasoning is partly self-serving. If Crawford beats Canelo, Lopez wants a shot at Crawford to claim a legacy-defining win. Lopez's confidence in Crawford stems from his belief that the fight could elevate the winner to untouchable status. He also took a jab at Canelo's camp, claiming they've avoided him, which adds a promotional angle to his prediction. Lopez sees Crawford as a gateway to greatness, a sentiment that reflects how younger fighters view this matchup. Stephen "Breadman" Edwards, a respected trainer, also leans toward Crawford. He acknowledges the weight jump but argues that Crawford's precision, timing, and instincts make him a threat to anyone. Edwards makes a fundamental point. No fighter is invincible. Even legends like Evander Holyfield and Roberto Duran, known for their iron chins, were hurt or stopped at some point. Canelo's durability is a major asset, but Edwards believes Crawford's ability to find the right moment could lead to an upset. He also dismisses concerns about Crawford's layoff since his August 2024 win over Israil Madrimov. Unlike most fighters, Crawford doesn't seem to lose his edge during breaks. Edwards describes him as a rare talent who returns to the ring as sharp as ever, defying the rust that plagues others. Keone Davis, a middleweight who has sparred both Canelo and Crawford, offers a unique perspective. Having felt both fighters' power and seen their approaches firsthand, Davis favors Canelo. He acknowledges Crawford's skill and adaptability but emphasizes the physical challenge of moving up so drastically in weight. Canelo, he says, is a natural super middleweight, comfortable and fluid at 168 pounds. Davis describes the fight as a clash of physics and biology as much as strategy. While Crawford's preparation is unquestioned, the sheer size difference could be a deciding factor. Davis doesn't doubt Crawford's heart or discipline but believes Canelo's physicality will be too much. Shakur Stevenson, one of boxing's brightest young stars, is firmly in Crawford's corner. He dismisses the size concerns, arguing that Canelo isn't a towering super middleweight. At roughly the same height as Crawford, Canelo's advantage lies in his strength and experience at the weight, not overwhelming length. Stevenson, a slick southpaw himself, sees Crawford's versatility and ring IQ as the deciding factors. He relayed a conversation with Bozy Ennis, father of Jaron Ennis, who believes Crawford could stop Canelo. While this might seem far-fetched given Canelo's durability, Stevenson points out that even the toughest fighters can be caught. Crawford's knockout of Errol Spence in 2023 showed his ability to dismantle elite opponents with precision and power. If Canelo underestimates Crawford's punch, he could pay a heavy price. Eddie Hearn, the prominent promoter, offers a sobering take on Canelo's future. Speaking to The Ring, Hearn speculated that this fight could be Canelo's last. He has no concrete evidence, but Canelo's lackluster performance against William Skull raised red flags. Canelo won a unanimous decision, but the fight lacked fire. His output was low, and he seemed to lack the urgency that defined his earlier years. Hearn wonders if Canelo's hunger is fading after nearly 2 decades as a professional. The financial reward of fighting Crawford is undeniable, but Hearn questions whether Canelo sees legacy value in beating a smaller man. If Canelo views the fight as a paycheck rather than a chance to prove himself, Crawford could capitalize on that lack of motivation. David Benevdz, a longtime potential opponent for Canelo, also weighed in. He admires Crawford's ring IQ and relentless style but stops short of picking a winner. Benevdz acknowledges that Crawford's leap to 168 pounds is a massive challenge. Canelo's ability to absorb punches from hard-hitting opponents like Golovkin and Kovalev gives him an edge. Benevdz believes Crawford could outthink Canelo but will struggle to withstand his physicality over 12 rounds. He also noted that Crawford looked slightly uncomfortable at 154 pounds, and moving even higher could amplify that issue. Bob Arum, the legendary promoter, didn't directly address the Canelo-Crawford fight but offered context by comparing it to another high-profile matchup, Inoue vs. Nakatani. Arum called that fight potentially the biggest in Japan's history, but noted that many see Canelo vs. Crawford as equally compelling. This comparison underscores the magnitude of the event. Crawford, despite being the smaller man, is viewed as a legitimate threat, not an underdog hoping for a miracle. The lack of consensus on a winner reflects the fight's intrigue. 2 elite fighters, each with distinct advantages, colliding in a rare test of skill and will. Canelo's recent performance against Skull has fueled doubts about his current form. While he won comfortably, the fight was criticized for its lack of excitement. Canelo landed just 55 punches, one of the lowest outputs in a 12-round fight, prompting questions about his drive. Atlas and others suggest this could signal complacency or decline. Canelo has been a professional since his teens, a pay-per-view star for over a decade, and the face of boxing for years. That level of success can erode the hunger that drives fighters to greatness. Crawford, by contrast, is still chasing the pound-for-pound crown, fighting not just for wins but for immortality. The fight's outcome hinges on several factors. Canelo's size and power are undeniable, but his recent performances suggest he may not be at his peak. Crawford's skill and adaptability are unmatched, but the weight jump is a gamble few fighters have successfully navigated. History offers mixed precedents. Roy Jones Jr. moved up to win a heavyweight title, but it was a gradual climb, not a single leap. Crawford's attempt to jump 3 weight classes in one fight is almost unprecedented. The boxing world is split, but the prevailing sentiment is that Crawford is a live underdog. Many see him not just as a challenger, but as a predator invading Canelo's territory. Atlas, Briggs, Stevenson, and Edwards believe Crawford's hunger and skill could overcome the odds. Sanchez, Davis, and Benevdz caution that size and physicality may prove too much. Lopez's wavering predictions reflect the fight's unpredictability, while Hearn's comments hint at deeper questions about Canelo's motivation. Ultimately, this fight is about more than titles. It's about legacy, ambition, and the collision of 2 fighters at different stages of their careers. Canelo is the established king, but perhaps too comfortable in his throne. Crawford is the challenger, driven by a need to prove he's the best, regardless of weight. The outcome will depend on who imposes their will, whether Canelo's power and experience prevail or Crawford's brilliance and hunger steal the night. September can't come soon enough.